Hello, how are you? You had a good weekend? Not too bad of one here. You'll see that we've had a fairly good few months since you last saw us here with Roma on Glory Hunter. I'll show you that in just a moment. Yes, hello, welcome on into Livestreams Sports here for Glory Hunter on Football Manager 22. If you missed the last episode, go and check it out. It was a Europa League special. We played against Copenhagen and Espanyol. And if you are new around here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode every single weekday, Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. As I mentioned before, we played a Europa League special last time. We did beat Copenhagen and we drew with Espanyol. And since then, you can see, look, we've turned things around. We went back to our old formation, our 5-2-3 formation. And it's been fairly successful. You can see defensively, we've been a lot more solid recently. We started off up against Udinese against the SerieA, where we managed to win that one 3-2. Goals for Tammy Abraham and Cole Palmer, our loanee, and on loan from Man City, the wonder kid in the wide areas. He's been playing quite well since we got him. We played against Ludogorets, where Palmer got himself another goal, as did Artur Cabral. We won that one 2-0. But then had a very tough game against Sassuolo, where it was another goal for Cole Palmer just at the end of the first half. We then played Bologna, where Veretout scored 2 goals, and Justin Kluivert scored one for us. Ludogorets came around once again, and Zaniolo and Palmer got the goals there. Actually, Zaniolo was assisted by Palmer, and Palmer was assisted by Zaniolo. It was very nice indeed. We then did beat Torino 2-0 thanks to goals from Tammy Abraham. They went down to 10 men very early on, so we won that one quite comfortably. And then we played against Copenhagen in the most recent Europa League game, where we drew that one 0-0. And today's going to be a 3-game special, because we have the team who are currently in the lead in SerieA, Inter Milan. We play against them. We also play against Napoli, who are currently in third. We play against Espanyol, who are in second place in our group, as you can see, but they're on level points with us, so the game's going to be a fight to see who wins the group. 3 important matches, and we'll get right into them. So you remember, Inter were miles at the top of the league. They'd won every game apart from the one they'd lost, but they've had a couple of draws since then, which means they've started to fall back into our clutches. If we win our game, we go on to 28 points. We're just 4 behind them. At one point, we were 13 points behind Inter Milan. If we can win this one, then we will just be 4 behind them, and we will still have a game in hand. That game in hand's against Napoli, so it will be a tough one, but we could end up, by the time this episode's finished, being 1 point off the top of the table. That would be some turnaround, seeing how bad we were at the start of the season. Now, I'm not going to say that could be the case, or it is going to be the case. It's a tough game against top of the league and third. There's also a chance that we will still be 10 points off the top of the table if Inter beat us and we lose to Napoli. But there is a chance that it will just be 1 point, and that would be outstanding. It'd be great for the second half of this season. So we have had a few injuries. Lazzaro's been injured, and he's still injured at the moment for another 3 weeks. Pellegrini's only just about to come back from injury. You might get to see him at some point in today's episode. And Guijo has been injured as well. He might be back as well. As is Zaniolo, he's been injured. He's just about back from fitness at this moment in time. And you can see we've got some players who aren't exactly fit. That's because we played a game against Copenhagen, the most recent Europa League game, on the Thursday night, and this is only the Saturday night. We've only had 2 games, or 2 days between the games. So we had a slightly irritated side in the last one, but yeah, it's been a bit of a tight turnaround. But saying that, this is the team we're going to have up against Inter Milan today. Patricia's going to play in goal. Zagadou, Otamendi, and Romagnoli at centre back. Odriozola. It's hard to say that name, isn't it? Odriozola on the right hand side, Spinazzola on the left hand side. Veretout and Camavinga have kind of formed a very nice partnership in that midfield. Zaniolo on the right, Palmer on the left, and Abraham up front. You can see Palmer's got 5 goals. Tammy's still top scorer with 10. Hopefully the 2 Englishmen can score some goals for us today. You can see that Inter Milan team, Lautaro Martinez and Zapata up front. Solid midfield, solid defence. They really do have a very good defence, Inter Milan. They've won the league the last 2 years in a row. Let's see if we can stop them from doing that this year. They're clear at the moment. A win from us would keep it tight between us as we're building out from the back. Camavinga switches the play towards Palmer or Spinazzola, but Darmian gets it instead and plays it down the line. But Romagnoli will collect this. Take his time. Take your time. Finds Spinazzola and Camavinga, who loses the ball to Lautaro Martinez into Duvan Zapata. Çalhanoğlu is cleared away by Zagadou, and Alex Tellez out there on the left-hand side. Duvan Zapata gets by the defence, plays it back to Tellez, into Sensi, and that is an outstanding save from Rui Patricio at that near post. Let's see if we can keep out the corner here. 2 minutes in, Sensi swings the corner in, and Barella does not get his head to it. Instead, Romagnoli clears it away, and that should be the end of the highlight. Throw in on the right, 12 minutes in. Darmian with it into the box. Duvan Zapata, good save from Rui Patricio. It is worth saying, I'm not expecting a win here. I would be very happy with a draw, to be honest, away to Inter Milan. This could be one of the toughest games of the season. I would like a win, but I would happily take a draw. Lautaro Martinez has got it here. It's out to Alex Tellez on this left-hand side, and back to Martinez and Sensi, and Duvan Zapata's through on goal here. And what a save from Patricio. He's on fire so far in the first 12 minutes in this game. So many great saves. Already a 7.6 average rating. And just as I'm complimenting him, Duvan Zapata goes and scores from a corner kick. And we're down 1-0. Just a simple ball into the front post. He gets away from his man, and we've got a man on the front post. Surely he could have jumped to defend that, but obviously not. And we're losing 1-0. We're yet to actually have a shot. There we go. We finally got our first one. There's a free kick for Inter here. Sensi plays it into Zapata. That's wide of the goal. Surely that was offside, or someone should have defended it maybe. Odriazola's got himself injured, which seems to be a bit of a common occurrence, unfortunately, for us. So it means Desciglio will come on to play on that right-hand side for the rest of the first half and the second, obviously. Throw in from Tellez here on the left. Inter have dominated the game so far, which is not ideal for us. Bastoni comes forward, finds Tellez with it. And Çalhanoğlu launches it forward towards Zapata. It's another great save from Patricio. He's the man keeping us in this game. There's been 9 shots on target from Inter so far. 9 on target. And somehow we've only conceded the 1 goal. We've reached half-time. We're 1-0 down. We're going to have to do something to change it here. I'm going to go into the instructions, and I'm going to say we should go a bit more direct and play at a higher tempo when we are playing with the ball. And we don't need to play out of defence. I'm going to suggest focus the play down the wings, and we don't need to work it into the box. Let's see if that changes anything in the second half. Here we go. First highlight of the second half, just a few minutes in. Desciglio back to Veretout, who dropped very deep there. Patricio finds Romagnoli. And while we come down this left-hand side now, Spinazzola drives into the midfield, finds Palmer. Back to Romagnoli. There's a lot of height in this team. Palmer, back to Romagnoli now. It's all the way back to the goalkeeper, and we'll go with Otamendi, and we'll try and go up the right-hand side. We've got a double up of players on the right if we want to use them. Zaniolo's in field. Back to Otamendi, and Desciglio is in some space. Forward to Zaniolo. He's down the line. Can he get this ball into the box? He plays it into Abraham, who comes out. Back to Zaniolo. Back to Desciglio. Can they get the ball in the box here? He tries. Back to Palmer, who heads that in. His 6th goal of the season. Cole Palmer, the man in on loan from Man City, pulls us level in here, and that's what I'm looking for. The ball coming down this right-hand side. Desciglio gets it, gets to the byline, crosses that into the back post, and Palmer rises up above Darmian. He's got the height, and he gets the header in, and it's 1-0. We're back in this game, and there's a free kick now. Veretout plays it forward, and Radu just grabs onto that ball, and he will launch it upfield. One assumes here. He does indeed. And can we defend this? The ball's dropped to Sensi, through to Zapata. Can Patricio save us? That's just a rubbish shot from Zapata. There's nothing else to be said about that. Throw in on the right. Desciglio to Camavinga. Back to Veretout. And Desciglio, and the ball into Palmer at back post. Oh, he nearly got his second. I'm getting excited here. There's a lot more chances in the second half for us. Zagadou with the ball here. Back to Romagnoli. And while we play down this left-hand side, Spinazzola into Camavinga. He loses the ball to Skriniar, and Lautaro Martinez plays it through to Correa, who's come on. He drives toward the keeper. Can we save it? No, we can't. It's his 4th goal of the season for Correa. And we are down 2-1 now. Look at the stats. Inter deserve to be ahead. The number of expected goals they've got, but that's poor from Camavinga losing the ball there. And really, it's a simple finish in the end. We're going to have to make some subs in the midfield, I think. Camavinga not having his greatest day, so we will bring on Cristante to play, and Zaniolo's also not playing well, so we'll bring on Kluivert and move Palmer to his preferred right-hand side, and Kluivert can play out on the left, and we'll demand some more here. The ball was swung in, but Spinazzola gets rid of it, and can Tammy Abraham get in the end of this ball? No, Darmian just beats him to it. And Lautaro Martinez with it now. It goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, and they'll recycle the play. De Vrij with it. Now Correa into Martinez, and he's just run right through the middle. It's another great save from Patricio. He's conceded 2 goals, and he's still on an 8.4 rating. That's how good he's been in this game. And there's just under, just 15 minutes to go now, and we need to see if we can try to get ourselves an equaliser. Desciglo's pulled up with an injury, but we'll have to keep him on the field. We don't want to drop down to 10 men. Barella's won that ball off of Kluivert, and now Skriniar with it. Darmian and Martinez into Barella. Very good midfield player. Eriksson, Correa, Sensi to Martinez. Can he get a goal? Yes, he can. He tucks that in. It's not going to be offside. The assistant has not got his flag up, so it's not going to be offside. And we're going to be down 3-1 here, and probably deservedly. Inter Milan have absolutely destroyed us here. Statistically, certainly. And we're losing this game comfortably. Palmer with it. Into Abraham. Back to Palmer. Down this right-hand side. Will he swing the ball into the box? He gets down the line. Into Abraham. Heads it. And it's straight at the keeper. Need to do better from those chances if we're going to take anything from this game. And the ball's launched long. Otamendi wins the header, but Martinez has got it back now, and he goes down the right-hand side. He's got lots of men in the box. Into Correa, and Correa tucks it in. Oh, it's just poor defending from us there. And it's 4-1 now, and it could be even more. Inter swing the ball into the box. Zagadou gets rid of it. Cristante, will he win this ball? He loses it to Martinez. How are you getting challenged by a centre-forward like that? Sensi and Dumfries messing about with it now. Finds Barella. Forward to Sensi again. And we challenge. And can we maybe break away? Patricio out to Desciglio, who has still got that knock. And Otamendi with it now. Can we maybe get ourselves a second? That would make it a little bit more respectable. Goes all the way back to Zagadou and Romagnoli, and we've got men forward on that left-hand side. It's a 3-on-2 if we can use them. Spinazzola with it. Over to Kluivert, down the line. Can he get the ball into the box to Abraham? He swings it in, Abraham heads it, and he goes and hopefully picks up that ball, and we'll go and see if we can get a few more goals. Spinazzola with a nice pass down the line to Kluivert. He gets in behind his man. Abraham peels off the defender and heads that into the bottom corner. It's 4-2, and maybe there is a chance for us to somehow come away with something in this game. There's 5 minutes of added time. But it looks like the time's just going to tick down. And we're going to lose this first game of the episode 4-2. Probably deservedly. But we did play well in the attacking portion of the pitch. Abraham played well. Kluivert and Palmer did all right as well. But defensively we weren't great. And Patricio saved us there a lot. Look at that. The expected goals was 4. And how often do you actually score the number of expected goals you're expected to score? You know, they probably could have scored 6 or 7 in that game if it wasn't for Patricio. He had an 8.1 rating, and that was very much deserved. Odriozola is out for probably, a month and a half with that injury, and it's 2 weeks for Desciglio, which means we're getting a bit short at fullback. So you can see the league table over there. That's us 10 points behind Inter again. We do have that game in hand, which we played up against Napoli. If we win it, we'd actually go second at this stage, which seems crazy to me. I know a lot of other teams have got a game in hand as well, so we might not actually go second, but it's very tight for everyone down there, except from Inter. They've pulled right away early on in this season. We've got the game against Espanyol now, and then we've got the game up against Napoli. Wait, sorry, we don't. I must have misread this in the last episode, and certainly have in this one. That game against Napoli is being played on the last day of December, so it's not getting played today. So that is the last game of SerieA before we go on our break for this World Cup. So the game we'll play is Inter and Espanyol. That's it. You don't get the Napoli game today. That's another couple of months. I'm going to have to simulate through the World Cup to get to that. I obviously can't read. I apologise. I'm sure some of you may have commented down below about that in the last episode as well. Sorry. But you still get to see the game against Espanyol today, and it's going to be an important one because we'll see if we top this group. What a way to end against top of the league Inter, and then to see if we can win our Europa League group. Sometimes words are hard to say. You can see, we'll see what the results are on this Sunday, because there's other games that are going to be played, so we'll see how far behind second we are. But we had a really good run there before we lost to Inter Milan, unfortunately. Hopefully that doesn't affect us too negatively. We've got a little break that's going to be coming up and then we should return, obviously, after the World Cup, and then maybe we can restart that form and not be hindered by that defeat against Inter Milan. So you can see the results there. Juventus beat Lazio, and other important ones, Milan drew with Bologna, I suppose. Milan were up there with us. So if we win our game against Napoli when we come back, that'll be the first one in the next episode when we come back from the World Cup. That game against Napoli, if we win that, we would go second. So we still have the chance to get into the top 2. But anyway, let's forget about SerieA now. On to Europa League. Let's top our group. Right, so those injuries at wing back have kind of messed things up a little bit for us. Odriozola out injured. Lazaro still out injured. Descaglio out injured. Unfortunately, Davide Santon and Vass are not registered for us in this competition. So that means that we've had to change things around a bit, and we went for a 4 at the back because Tolisso is going to cover at right back. Yes, apparently he can play at right back. He's not particularly good at right wing back, but he's all right at right back playing as a wing back. So that's what he's going to do for us today. So that means this is a team that is going to play for us. We've moved quite a lot of stuff about because we still have some problems with some fitness as well. So we have Nicolas Pepe out injured, as well as Pellegrini is struggling to return to fitness. So we've got a bit of a makeshift team here. Patricio's going to be in goal. Zagadou and Romagnoli at centre back. Tolisso on the right and Spinazzola on the left. Veretout, Camavinga in midfield with Zaniolo, who'd normally play on the right hand side. He's going to cover in midfield for us today. Palmer's going to play on the left. Abraham is going to play on the right hand side. I know, Tammy playing out on the right. He can play there apparently. And Sesko is going to play up front. Benjamin Sesko, the young Slovenian who started really well for us, hasn't really played a lot of games recently, so we're going to get him back out there and see if he can score some goals. 19 years of age, he's going to develop into some player if we give him the game time he needs. A draw would be enough for us to top this league table and finish first, but we would like to finish with a win. That would be the aim anyway, and hopefully we can do that, even though we've changed to this 4 at the back formation that we're not particularly used to using. We're playing the ball about nicely at the back though. Tolisso forward towards Sesko. He's in behind the defence here early on. 2 minutes in. Nearly gets himself a goal. Romagnoli with a free kick here into Palmer. Back to Romagnoli. And Spinazzola was quite far down that left hand side, but he's come back now. Zaniolo into Palmer and Zagadou, and everyone's in there half at this point in time. Camavinga finds Zaniolo and Abraham there. And an unfamiliar role on the right-hand side for him. Finds Tolisso, back to Abraham, comes infield, has a shot, and it's blocked and cleared away. Tolisso heads it back to Abraham. Abraham to Veretout. Veretout and Camavinga. Zaniolo hits it from a long way out, and it's wide of the goal. A good strike from Zaniolo, but not quite good enough. Corner kick from us. Veretout to take it. Into the back post it goes, and it's headed away. Abraham heads it back out to Veretout and Zaniolo. Over to Camavinga. Will he hit this? He does indeed, and it's bounced off the defender, and Abraham's collected it. Back to Tolisso, who drives infield, finds Abraham. Can he finish? No, it's a good challenge. Zaniolo hits that, and that's wide the goal. So much was happening there, but it did not go in, which is the important thing. Throw in from Pedroza here, 36 minutes into the game. It's back to their goalkeeper and across the back line. Launch forward. Tolisso wins it though. Camavinga forward to Palmer. Can he get himself a goal? No, runs across him and it's into Sesko, and Sesko gets his 4th of the season. Nice play from us there. Palmer, I thought he was going to have a shot, but it just got away from him. Turned back on himself, puts it into the middle, and Sesko finishes that. You can see here, nice header from Tolisso, and Camavinga gets it. A lovely ball over the top. I thought here Palmer's going to hit it, but he didn't. He let it run across and plays it back in, and Sesko tucks that into the open goal. 1-0. Reached half time, we're still leading 1-0. If you look at the league table as it appears on the screen here, it's not going to appear because we've got a highlight early on. Zagadou. There we go, that's the first time this season we've got to sing Zagadou, and hopefully we can do it even more often this season. Veretout with love the ball into Zagadou, and Zagadou scores a goal early on the second half. You can see there, it went away again. That's really annoying. But Espanyol are in second. They're through. Copenhagen have been knocked out at this stage, even before this game happens. And that's what I was saying. that I thought Espanyol and Copenhagen were going to be our toughest games, but when you think Espanyol were the 4th seed to come into this group and they've managed to get through, that shows you quite how tough that was as a 4th seed. The ball's into Abraham here, and he's headed that in for his 12th goal of the season. Spinazzola swung that ball in from the left and found Abraham there. Sesko brought that one down, played it to Spinazzola, who went down the line, swung in the ball. Abraham up against the full-back. It's a bit of an unfair competition there, really. And Abraham gets the header, and maybe this is a tactic to do it. Put Abraham out there, the 6'4", 6'5" that he is, up against the fullbacks who are typically a bit smaller. They're never going to win that in the air, and Abraham will win all the headers. That's the new tactic. Will we do that? Probably not, but it's worked today anyway. Talisa with a great sliding challenge. Pedrosa's on it now though. Back to Melamed, and he appeared to fall over there, did Camavinga. I think it was an attempt at a slide challenge, but it wasn't very good. And Patricio plays it to Romagnoli. He's been so solid since he's returned to the side last season. Romagnoli plays it to Spinazzola and to Sesko. He's in behind the defence now. Can he finish? No, he can't. That's the sort of one that Tammy would be finishing if he was there. But you've got to give Sesko time. He's 19 years of age. He needs to build up that composure and stuff like that. And I'm sure he'll eventually turn into a pretty good striker. Hopefully he's good here, and then when we leave, we could take him somewhere else. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? 32 with the corner. That was a corner. That was a free kick. Zaniolo headed it in, and we'll see if it's offside. I don't think the assistant referee's run away, so there's a chance it's going to be offside. Indeed, it has been disallowed. We've brought on Kluivert in place of Abraham on the right-hand side as well, and look at that. That was close. You can hardly call that offside. And time is ticking down here. There's 3 minutes added time. We're leading 3 now, and there is a ball swung in there. Zagadou got rid of it. Vargas with the ball again. Out to Mbarba. What's he going to do with this? Into Aitor, and somehow he's tucked that into the goal. Not going to be enough to change the result of the game, but it does let Espanyol get themselves a goal. We made a couple of changes at the back toward the end of that game there, and we have won 3-1. Back to winning ways after the disappointing defeat to Inter Milan. And we top our Europa League group. That's a pretty good effort there. 4 wins, 2 draws. Can't complain about that. And the draw for the first knockout round of the Europa League doesn't happen until the 12th of December. So you're not going to get to see that today. You'll have to find out who we draw in the next episode. And talking about the next episode, that is when you'll get to see this Napoli game, because I thought it was happening after the Espanyol one, but it's not. It's happening after the World Cup. So I've got 2 months to simulate through the World Cup, and we'll return for the game up against Napoli and up against Parma. And actually, because the World Cup's on, there's a chance that some managers of national sides might get sacked. So there's a chance we might be an international manager by that time as well, because you can obviously manage an international team at the same time as a club team. And remember, as part of the Glory Hunter Challenge, we need to win the World Cup and we need to win the Euros as well in this 20 years. So if there's someone that performs a little bit badly at the World Cup, and maybe they'll get sacked, maybe we can take on an international job as well. You'll need to find that out in the next episode though. So if you have enjoyed this one, lots of goals in the game against Inter and a nice win against Espanyol, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help us out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and until the next one, which will be the games against Napoli and Parma after this World Cup, we'll see you then.